Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to round 7 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship live on Apex Racing TV. I am Sam Fitzpatrick. I am bringing you this broadcast from the Apex Racing Sim Centre tonight, and this is our third to final round as we enter the final stages of this championship. Our host for this round of the championship, it is the legendary Spa circuit. Not many better circuits around the entire world, and we have got a number of races, 4 races for you tonight, a couple of heats, a B final and an A final. Before we get into the action, we should probably take a tour of this circuit. Of course, one of the longest circuits that we visit all season long on the calendar. Upwards of 19 corners, albeit I think a few people will argue there may be 1 or 2 more or less around this very long circuit, 7 kilometers, and it all starts, at least with this layout, at turn 1. Opportunities are overtaking, particularly on lap 1 round that part of the circuit. Then you head into the Eau Rouge Radiant section, of course, absolutely iconic. Les Combes at the end of the long Kemmel Straight near the top of the circuit, and then you're heading into Malmedy and Bruxelles and into No Name, which of course looks a little bit different in real life nowadays, albeit is still going to be using the classic one, the classic No Name corner around this version of the circuit. You'll then head down into Pouhon corner. In these cars it's going to be absolutely rapid, not much of a braking zone really whatsoever. You don't have to think about it nearly as much as, say, if you're in a GT3 car. And then I think probably my favourite part of the circuit, the Fagnes chicanes. Right, left, almost identical, but of course opposite directions are those 2 corners. Head down the hill and into the 14-15 section of the circuit. Easy to pick up a 1x. These jars are limited to 12 1x's before they get a drive-through penalty around this circuit, so certainly something that they are going to have to be considering later on. And then it all gets a little bit dull for a while, particularly in these cars, because again, these cars make some fairly scary corners look very easy because of their very high downforce to power ratio. And so the turn 17 Blanchiment going to be easy flat for these jars, just going to be an extension of the straight really. And then you head into the 18-19 chicane, not a bus stop, chicane to round out the Spa circuit. We're going to have not many laps in each race. Longest race we have tonight is 18 minutes, and so that will be about it for us. So not too many tours of the circuit and plenty of corners to learn of it. Like I said before, similar to sort of a Silverstone circuit, the track really does favour these cars in terms of difficulty because of how high speed it is. The drivers are currently in their qualifying session right now. They've got 10 minutes to set pretty much as many laps as they like, and we will be able to join the action. None of the drivers so far have set a lap time in this session, and you can see the early stages of this session, everyone trying to get a draft on one another. That is the name of the game right now, and the thing that I think all these drivers are absolutely desperate to do, because if you can get the perfect draft around this circuit, you are going to be in an ideal position when it comes to the delivering the absolute best time. Really, a slipstream even around this middle part of the sector is going to be absolutely advantageous, and so certainly going to be something that the drivers are going to have to be considering as they negotiate the track. As we head into near the end of this opening laps, the first driver on circuit, I believe, is this man, Will Redford, whose absolutely epic win streak unfortunately came to an end last time out. He had won the first 10 races that he competed in the season. He was not able to win either race at Road Atlanta, but he'll be wishing to return to better form tonight, and we will see if he is able to put it up on pole position right now. He will go to the top of the standings. We're already halfway through the session, only the first time it's been delivered such a long lap. It's a 2:21 to start off with. We'll wait to see if that is going to be enough for pole position tonight. And see how he measures up against the rest. We have got some other times coming in. Zwemstra across the line, goes back to the pits immediately. Tobias Sack top of the Pro-Ams at the moment. Trying to see if many other drivers across the line. There goes Parmalee across. We should be able to track these drivers across the line. Charney there. Also Jay Walsh just posting in a time. Next driver is going to be Jamie Tukey. But still, many of the drivers, particularly the pros, yet to put in a time. I think Lennart Schnabel had his first lap time invalidated. He won last time out at Road Atlanta, and so that is a setback for him, especially considering, once again, I say it again, just how long this lap is. So you get very few opportunities. And a reminder to anyone who's new to this type of series, new to the heat racing format, you have to get your lap in before the 10 minutes is up. Absolutely essential that you do that. Your lap time will not count if you try to put it in after the session has expired. And so we just recently saw a gain of position, I think for Michael Griffin, apologies. He went up into P7 right there, so not a bad effort, but only 11 drivers setting time so far in this 23 car field, I think, tonight. I'm not sure if Vikar Boberg is going to be taking the start necessarily, but I do hope he does, as the drivers negotiate the rest of this lap at the moment. And heading into the latter stages of this circuit. Still Redford a long way clear, and not seemingly wanting to get the just stop, but it didn't seem to disaffect him on the opening lap. He was 7/10 clear on the first time, so I'm interested what this man's going to do. Lennart Schnabel, who I think has just got past Arias Diamantis right there, and that is very interesting. These two are not teammates, and I wonder if Diamantis has basically been overtaken right there, and that will really annoy him. Really annoy him on his pace lap, because immediately you have to compromise your line. Let's see what Schnabel can do. Redford goes even faster out at the top. Schnabel does put in a lap time, but it's only good enough for second place, and frankly I think he'll be quite pleased with that one, because it was putting a lot of jeopardy by missing that first lap. We've got a few more times coming in. Suarez improving, Bunn improving. Did Russell improve? I do not. I think he did. I'm not quite sure. Or that could be an outlap. No, I think that was a legitimate lap there for Philip Russell. And yeah, he went into 8th position. What can Jay Walsh do across the line? Pollard improves, doesn't move up the positions though, and Walsh also crosses the line now. And that means that not many of these drivers are actually going to get their second lap times in. Walsh wasn't going to make it, that's probably why he's pulled in. I don't think Parmley's going to make it either, frankly. And yeah, he has gone back. Apologies, no, it's Walsh back in the pits at the moment. Tukey improves, but we've just got one more time to be set. See if the tyres stick with these drivers or whether they've used the best of them up already. Almost everyone has put in a lap time now. See Coenza just move up into 11th position. You can see him back out there. I think we saw him in the Porsche Cup Championship on Wednesday, the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Championship. I can't remember how he did in that one, if I'm honest, but could see him back out on circuit for the F4s tonight. And yeah, trying to get some good results. Very quick driver is Coenza, albeit hasn't had too many clean races so far this season, or is in the mid pack, and that's where you're going to have problems. And these guys are still fighting one another. So now, I mean, this is not helping. This is completely ruining their laps. Schnabel had, I think, the benefit of it earlier on, but Juventus has gone back past it on this lap, and this is not going to work for them, because I feel like Juventus had to overtake. Maybe if it was down the Camel Straight, maybe he would be alright. I feel like if Schnabel ruins Juventus' lap right at the close here, this would be a fairly petty thing to do, because he overtook him earlier on. He doesn't go for it, but Schnabel is not going to improve here. Is Juventus able to improve? Redford's gone back to the pits. He wasn't going to improve. There goes Schnabel. Can Juventus, who's been very strong recently, can he move his way up the order? He can, up into P3. That's an excellent effort there from Aris Juventus, and that overtake on Schnabel did work out for him. He's put in a decent time. Russell crosses the line. Suarez also crosses the line. He goes into 7th position. Can't repeat his brother's achievements at the Hungarian earlier on today. Gibbons crosses the line to go 9th place. You'll be fairly pleased with that. Always one of the top of the AM drivers. Can Charney go up? The checker flag is out. I don't think Charney crossed the line a bit. I think he was up to 224 on that from what I saw, so I'm not sure if it was necessarily going to be a competitive lap time anyway. I doubt there would have been any position any improvements from the Spen Racing driver. So we have got the grid then for this race 1 of the evening, heat 1 of the evening to better label it. Will Redford up on pole position, Aris Mantis in 2nd position, half second behind. Then it's Kevin Zwemstra, Philip Russell top of the AM drivers, and looking to really get a hand and a half on the AM title tonight. Then it's Gibbons, Morfatova, Griffin, Spence, Charney, Tukey, Pollard and Boberg. And Boberg is taking the start, so that is good to see. Just White and Zinow to take pit lane starts tonight. I don't think either of them are around tonight, so I don't think that'll be too much of a factor there. As everyone is onto the grid, bar Michael Griffin, but he quickly just pops on, and so you don't have any gaps in the pack. So here we go then for this 12 minutes, heats 1. And away we launch. It's not the best start for the front row of the grid. I think it was Zwemstra who got the best launch, and he's immediately going to be moving alongside, heading into turn 1. Is Zwemstra able to take that move? He is going to be extremely close right there, and I think it is Redford for now just about the leader, albeit he will be under pressure. Still, so Jomantis was able to hold on. Gibbons was able to get past Russell, albeit it is very close between the two drivers at the moment as they head up the hill for the first time. As yeah, they had the chase up the Camel Straights on this opening lap of the race. And Yamanta's closing in. He's going to go to the outside. Does he have to make this move straight away? Look at the 3 wide here. Zwem's just going to try to make this one possible. I don't think he's going to get any success around there. Yamantas goes to the outside, and it is Redford who leads after the first tussle. There's very nearly contact between Zwemstra and Gibbons right there, but they managed to get through the corner decently and continue on their way. So that is sort of the first chase gone, but we are expecting plenty of overtaking in this race, plenty of slipstreaming. And so we could see a very competitive race out in the front across tonight's action. as we go into Puon for the first time. Single file on the most part. Russell with the worst start there. He was down into 6th position. He immediately got overtaken by Givens and then seemingly was a little bit vulnerable heading into heading onto the Camel Straight on that first time round. I'm just seeing Charney just gets past Tuki, I believe, albeit I think they have swapped positions a couple of times because Charney was up ahead. So that's the middle part of the lap complete, and now we head on to the long second straight here, and with Francorchamps barely being something to at all think about for this race, we are going to see a lot of slipstreaming here and everyone just getting back close to one another. Seemingly Zwemstra dropping off a little bit in these stages right now. He's struggling to keep tabs with the other drivers as it stands, but of course, we complete this section and then we go on to the next, as I think Givens has messed up the chicane, and this is more for Toby, who's going to try to go for an overtake. This is putting them off the back of the pro drivers who are leading this race at the moment. And it is, Givens having to go super defensive. Still going to get a tiny draft from Zwemstra, but not much. He's gone deep. I think Morphetova went a little bit deep as well, and Russell is now very close. And now it's going to also be Griffin, who's going to probably get the best run of anyone heading down into this next part of the circuit as they head up the straight. Let's see the slipstream that he can achieve right here as we go up the Camel Straight. Are there going to be any changes? We're going 3 wide, and this is going to be absolutely close as anything on the brakes. And through all of that, Morphetova able to get ahead of Russell. Givens down 2 places, down into 6th position right now. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that one, albeit there will be plenty of time to respond as this race continues. And yeah, Morphetova just about hanging on at the moment through the no-name corner and onto the straight between No Name and Puon once again. Tuki with a problem, but he is back on circuits, so we won't get a replay of that one. But look at this train of cars right now heading a decent way back, all the way back to this man, in fact, Rickard Boberg. Won the F3 Amateur Championship last season. Hasn't necessarily mixed with this F4 car so well, and he did not do qualifying today. I'm not sure why, but he started from the back and he seems to have decent pace right now, does Rickard Boberg, albeit he needs to get past Cambrali Chani nice and quick, otherwise he might be under pressure later on. Oh, apologies, he won't be able to make up moves later on, is what I mean. Redford's under huge pressure right now from Yamantis. He's going to have to go the long way round, but Redford takes the normal racing line and Yamantis not interested. Oh, we got a mistake from Will Redford, and that is a mistake we have not seen all season long for the championship leader. Gosh. Well, that is, absolute mistake there from Will Redford. I think if I recall, as I think Yamantis, did he go across the... Oh, Yamantis has got a problem here. Is that a slowdown? Oh, dearie me. Or did he make contact with Redford perhaps, and he's letting him back past? I did not see contact from the pair of them, but this has totally turned this race on its head. The top 2 dropping down the order, and it looks like Kevin Zwemstra is going to get pole position here for the A final. Russell, meanwhile, is battling with Givens, and we've got an almighty pack of cars here. Let's go back with the chopper, because we almost got 4 wide. Look at this, and see the inside now. It's like Cambrali Chani, I think, going up the inside of the pair of them here. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Surely they can't all get through it. Super late on the brakes there was Garrett Spence, who's able to keep that position. Boberg just going around the outside there. Chani benefits up into P6, and Yamantis, after letting past Redford, he is moving his way through as well. The top 6, so apologies, top 7 from this race go through to the A final. The rest will have to battle it out in the B final later on. As Boberg moving back past Johnny, who after the very promising few corners is going to drop back down through the order. This is absolutely close as anything racing. These drivers have got the vision of a hawk, because to be able to position your car corner after corner so close to the car ahead to know where your front wing is extremely tricky. And these guys are doing it very well. Russell, I think, has just got back past Joseph Gibbons out there. And we will get a replay of the Yamantis Redford incident at some point in this race. But this is all going on right now, and we should get opportunities as the field spreads out slightly. Redford now ahead of Yamantis, both of them in the A final advancing spots, top 7 once again tonight. We'll get through to the A final. And so, yeah, that is what many of these drivers are going to be aiming for right here. Across the line they go for another lap, and let's try to get a replay of that incident that we sort of saw a little bit earlier on. And, here we go, this might show it a little bit better. Or maybe not, here we go. So we'll try to get into the chopper once again to get a good view of what happened. Redford up ahead. Yeah, he lost it all by himself, so I'm not sure why. Okay, oh, sorry. So Yamantis had to cut the corner. I'm surprised Yamantis lost so much time, though. You really see here how much he had to slow up. And he just let so many cars go. Really surprised that would be so costly, but I guess it was lap 2 of the race, and often that can be the case. So going back to live pictures, I think we missed a couple of overtakes, but sort of predicted overtakes, nothing surprising. Oh, that's very close here for Yamantis. Spence was understeering out there, and now Spence is going to be under pressure from Boberg. This is for the final A final spot. And so this is pivotal. Johnny and Griffin behind. Griffin not quick on that last lap, Michael Griffin. I thought he would be faster, honestly. But the Pro-Am driver not making too much progress at the moment. Spence cannot get past Boberg. Apologies, Boberg has got past Spence. My apologies. And so he is up into 7th position, the Swedish driver, from the back of the field. And we've just got one more lap to go after this one. Almost going to go 3 wide here. Look at this. And it's Spence trying to get past Boberg. Oh, we got a crash, and they've gone into one another. And barrel rolling down the straight. Garrett Spence, they were squeezing each other all the way there. And that is an absolutely huge shame. And it means that they'll be starting near the back of the B final. No chances of the A final for the pair of them now. This battle is still going on, and I am going to quickly try to get a replay of that incident beforehand, before it really kicks off down the Camel Straight. We should be able to join this one in a little bit. Let's get the chopper again. And it's really unnecessary squeezing. Boberg leaving a car's width short. Apologies, Spence leaving a car's width, I think. And Boberg moving alongside. Maybe it was over-aggressive. Maybe you can make your decisions up on that one. 2 wide again. And Redford up to P3 now. The comeback is strong. Yamantis will try to get P4, but seeing that this is the last lap, he's going to struggle to do it. He's absolutely fighting as much as he possibly can right now. Is the Lithuanian. He has not been able to stick with Redford, as the 2 of them have made their way back through the order after Redford's mistake earlier on, which forced Yamantis off the circuit. And that is why they are not the top 2 out on circuit at present. Sömstra leading the way, of course. And of course it will be the top 7 who get through. And with the carnage that we saw in the last lap, it's currently this Vankamp, Riley Shiny, who would take that position. Of course, you can still get through to the A final, even if you don't get through the heats. Just finish in the top 4 in the B final, and you booked yourself a ticket. But that's not exactly the way that the drivers want to do it, as this is going to be close across the line. And, well, okay, there's Kevin, so I'm sure he's going to win the race. But for the rest of this, we're going to be concentrating on the P4, 5, 6 battle, because this has been raging on, and this is crucial for Yamantis to get up. This is 4 places at stake. If he could get past these 2 drivers, Russell's hanging on for the amateur win, who of course desperately wants to beat Gibbons if he possibly can for the championship. Yamantis is going to get an absolutely epic run here. Can he do anything about the 2 of them? He's going to get Gibbons, he's not going to get Russell. And Russell finishes in P4, Yamantis in P5, and Gibbons will be frustrated because he had a good chance at that P4 with just a couple of corners to go, but he wasn't able to do it. Charney does finish in P7, and he's through into the A final for, I think, only the 2nd time this season, if I recall correctly. I don't think Charney's necessarily strongest race of the season, but he'll be grateful for that one, as we are still waiting for Garrett Spence to cross the line. By the way, we didn't show the championship points earlier on, so I may as well just show that right now for you. There you are, so there's Redford at the top. Schnabel in 2nd position, 200 points behind. In the Pro-Am, it's a bit closer, Moffat over leading the way ahead of Porter and Nilsson. But Nilsson has had a troublesome season. I'm surprised he's that far up, honestly, Hans Morgan. But he has been very quick. I mean, he's certainly got the pace to be up there. But, yeah, Sek just behind him in P4. And then in the amateur standings, we've got Russell at the top. Decent way ahead of Dorian Arroyo, Andy Lee. And Chinese got some catching up to do. Gibbons has been very quick this season. But not enough to make it into too much of anything at the moment, as we are going to go to the grid then for this race 2. And it is Lennart Schnabel on pole position, then ahead of Pedro Suarez. Tobias Sek in 3rd position on the grid, then it is Oliver Bunn, Hans Morgan Nilsson, Matteo Cuenza, Andy Lee, Jackie Wong, Dan Palmley, Jay Walsh, and Daniel White, rounding out the cars. Just Daniel White to get onto the grid. So White, I think I said earlier on, he's got a pit lane start to serve. Yes, he does. So it makes sense that he's not on there. But he will, it's only one, so he will be able to take to the grid in his B final or A final, whichever one he gets through. Or maybe both. So the lights then for race 2 of the evening. Schnabel from the pole position. And away we launch at Spa. Awful start for Sek. He's going to be under pressure from Bunn. Will Bunn go to the inside here? Seemingly just settling in behind. Such a long run now up the straight, as there's a little bit of contact between the championship drivers and the Pro-Am category. We've got a little bit of 2 wide as well, with Jay Walsh trying to make up some positions. As Bunn and Sek head side by side into Eau Rouge for the first time. That was so close to contact. Totally unnecessary on that one, especially when you got this massive straight to come up. Is Schnabel going to be able to hold on to the lead here? Nilsson looks competitive. He's trying to get past Cuenza. He's already lost that position, as it seems like Schnabel's launch from the source was just about good enough. He has the lead going into Les Combes on the opening lap of this Heat 2. It's Suarez behind him. Bunn up ahead of Sek. Cuenza up ahead of Nilsson. And Wong up ahead of Andy Lee. And currently occupying the final advantage spot, albeit there will be plenty of racing to come for that to change. As we saw in Heat 1, drivers getting into single file around this part of the circuit. Albeit you can see Suarez there looking aggressive into Pouon. I don't think the midfielders necessarily have the pace to keep up with the race leaders, but I think maybe the top 3, 4, maybe even Cuenza could stay as a lead pack in this race, as long as they don't battle too much with one another. Suarez having a couple of tricky corners. He's missed the apex slightly, I think, of Stavolo. And he's left himself with about half a second to gain. And this is the opportunity now for Bun to try to make a move. How hard are they going to fight? Schnabel will be looking at this in his mirrors. He'll be wanting to make this a fight, basically, behind him. Give a little bit of draft to either driver, try to even it out. As Bun pretty much runs out Suarez of any room there. Bun very late on the brakes. He's going to move into the lead there, Bun. Can he make the corner? He can't, and that's going to be a huge slowdown. Massive mistake there from Oliver Bun, who needs to make up points for the championship. And that is not going to help his cause. He is going to drop all the way to the back right now, is Bun. As we see a half overtake from Suarez. Sek is up into P2, but he's made a meal of that one. And all this, frankly, unnecessary fighting has just gifted a break for Lennart Schnabel, who leads by over a second. And you can see by the timing tower on the left, Sek making up barely anything down the straight. Bun is all the way back here now. That is a huge slowdown. Honestly, he needed to make every opportunity to make that corner. And I think he did. But I think he feared making contact as we got 4 wide. You'd think it was the last lap. The last corner. Oh, Nilsson's going to get crowded out there. No chance of going 3 wide round the outside. They came 2 wide's hard enough even in these very narrow cars. And after all of that, Sek is still in 2nd position. Coenza's moved up into 4th. And it's Nilsson in that P5 as it stands. And this is great news for Oliver Bun. He'll be catching up to these drivers. And it's great news for Lennart Schnabel. He'll barely see these drivers in his rearview mirror now. Schnabel in good form, of course, won both races last time out at Road Atlanta. But I imagine even he didn't think this one's going to be as easy as it has been. As like a Coenza up the inside of Suarez. If you're not attacking yourself, you're going to be defending. And once again, it's the Aladdin oil of Nilsson, who's close in behind. Few 1Xs being picked up so far in the race. But 12 incidents the drivers are limited to. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for the drivers out there. As we have alongside once again, Coenza, who is always one to attempt to move. He's doing so right now. He's got the inside into the chicane. Let's see if he can avoid what Bun did last time, where Bun overshot the chicane and accidentally overtook an extra car. He pulled that one pretty expertly off. What, 5.5 tenths of a second now behind Tobias Sek. And still with hopes of catching up to the P2 man. Nilsson under pressure from Jackie Wong there. We haven't seen Wong too much so far in this race. Well, we have seen them because everyone's been in one shot in this entire race. We haven't paid too much attention to him. He's currently ahead of his Z Challenger Goliath Racing teammate Andy Lee in 6th position. The 2 of them, the final drivers to advance to the A final as it stands. Sek has been caught. And Coenza is moving his way through. Didn't fancy that time though. He tried to go 3 wide round the outside last time. Did Coenza? He couldn't pull it off on 2 wide. As Sek has a big slide and will be under pressure by all of these drivers. And frankly, I think Nilsson's got just as big a chance at finishing P2 in this race as Tobias Sek. If anything, going on to the last lap, you probably want to be 3rd in line heading out of the source. Heck, if this was Sepang with that track's width, you probably want to be 4th in line because you can get an absolutely epic momentum run. But with the narrowness of this circuit, in comparison at least, the 3rd position is probably all you're going to be able to do unless you're willing to go for a pass on the grass, which well, we've seen plenty of other drivers go onto the grass around this circuit in the last few weeks, so maybe would be possible on that occasion. Parmalee moving past Wong right now. Wong has lost the draft of his teammate. And this is for the final advancing spot, but we've got to go back to the top. Because this could kick off any moment. And whilst these positions won't matter too much, let's not get too excited about these changes of position, because it could easily be changed in 2 corners time. Oh, a sec. He's not going to make the corner. So he's managed to do what Bun wasn't able to do earlier on. He didn't take the slowdown. It wouldn't have been that bad for him, seeing that we're much further into the race. That was certainly the right thing to do there. From Sek didn't take the cut through, otherwise it would have been very costly for him. Bun, by the way, has caught these guys, but I'm surprised it's taken him quite so long. His pace is about 1 second slower than the leaders. Just is not particularly quick right now, is Bun, but of course he hasn't got a draft, so that's probably part of the reason, but still surprised by his relative lack of pace in fresh air. As it's now a battle of 3. And this is going to go 3 wide, almost certainly. There's a gap in the middle. Will Nilsson take it? He's not. Maybe he's just trying to get Suarez instead. But Suarez has got a clean shot at Lecoum, and so I was able to take it normally. What's happening with this one? Oh, look at the overtake there from Bun, midway through Lecoum. He wasn't able to do it. So Lee was caught again, so he wasn't able to break the draft. I thought Wong had pretty much lost the draft there. Oh, huge slide there for Lee. And that's going to be a big check-up for all these drivers. They already nosed the tail in the first place, so it didn't really make much of a difference. No one was able to pounce on it. And the Z Challenger Goliath Racing drivers will be desperate to both get through. That's Wong and Lee. They'll be absolutely desperate, the pair of them, to get through into the A final. As there goes Wong, past Lee. Well, I'm not sure if that was orchestrated or not, but we'll see if it works out. 1 more lap to go after this one. Schneebel's out in the lead, if you didn't know. He's going to get front row of the grid for the A final. And honestly, second place is probably the place that you want to start at Spa. These guys spreading out a bit, but there'll be no tell by the time they get to the chicane, so they'll still be close. These guys scrapping their way through. Bun would not get through to the A final for consecutive weeks if it ends like this. And this is not an easy situation to be in. Oh, there's contact between the two of them. Bun's going to go wide. We've also got one going wide. Lee's taken a wide line there himself, actually, through the second part of the chicane. And now he got 3 wide, heading over the start-finish straight. Bun remains in 8th place. I think Bun might lose a position in all of this. Look at the big move there. Bun's going to get the cutback. It's 3 wide again. Oh, 2 wide into a rouge doesn't usually work. Oh, you're going to see 3 wide here. Who's going to give up? Because a fantastic draft there for Wong. Oh my goodness me. It's a big crash. Palmely into the wall. And it simply doesn't work. Norman's could have been making a tapestry of that right there. It was that predictable. And we have a car back to the pits. What is going on for P2 right now? Coenza is up into 2nd position. Frankly, I forget who was even the leader of this pack beforehand. Second's nearly caught back up. Remember, he got a slowdown earlier on, or missed the chicane earlier on. And we've still got this battle. Wong versus Bun. Oh, dearie me. I think, has Wong got damage? Looks okay to me. We will try to get a replay of that later on. We'll have to be quick after the race. But we will try to get a replay of that in Snowmobile. I think we got a fairly good view of it from the chopper. Coenza in 2nd place. This is for P4 on the grid for the A final. And a few points as well, which I'm sure Nilsson in particular would be very grateful of, considering that he's going for the championship in his class. Here we go then. Coenza, Suarez. Nilsson with the draft on the pair of them. We're going to follow these guys to the end. Suarez not able to cover off the inside. Can Nielsen do anything? I think it's going to be similar to what we saw in race 1 for a couple of the drivers. Oh, look at Sek coming right in the end. And it wasn't going to be the cutback there for Nielsen. He had to cover that one off. Coenza finishes in P2. Schnabel was able to win the race. And what an absolutely enthralling couple of heats we've had tonight. Oliver Bunn's gone back to the pits. I think he's got a drive-through penalty. And White's going to make it through. White's not going to make it through, apologies. Wong will make it through. White and Bunn will miss out. And we need to try to get a replay. And I hope this is the one. It's not the one. This was just a few minutes prior. Maybe round here? Desperately want to catch this one before we go back. Maybe this one? Oh no, we're going to miss it, guys. I'm ever so sorry. I really wanted to get a replay of that incident. But unfortunately, we are going to have the session tick over, I think, in just a moment. And that will be the end of E2. We got a very good view of it, though. I think the chopper cam was good for that crash. So, the B final, then. Here's the grid. Not too many drivers, 14 minutes. Griffin, up ahead of Bunn. Polliard, Wong, Tukey, Walsh, Boberg, Parmley, and Spence. I think pretty much all these drivers will feel like they could have got through in their heat. And so this could be quite a competitive race. Already everyone's gridded up. And the B final. Top 4 go through, remember? Is underway. Strong start for the front row of the grid. Not a bad start for Jackie Wong as well. He's going to be close heading into La Source. Got a decent amount of spread across the track there. Wong taking a tight line, squeezing Polliard slightly on the inside. But was able to get through. Side by side for the lead already. Bunn's got past. He's ahead of Michael Griffin. But that may not be the place that you want to be necessarily on the Kemmel Straight. The chase starts for the first time in this 14 minutes, third race of the evening. Wong is now ahead of Griffin as well. I wonder if Griffin's running a little bit extra drag, because he's been an absolute sitting duck so far in this one. So it's Bunn leading the way, Wong in second position. But they're fighting already! Contact between the two of them! Oh, well, Wong was squeezing Polliard earlier on, and now it's Bunn off, and he's not going to make it through. Again, Oliver Bunn not able to get through to the A final. Oh, but he's still going. Don't rule him out. Top 4 get through. And if these first few corners are anything to go by, we're going to see a lot of action in this B final. Polliard. Look at Boberg. The amount of times we've seen through wide tonight is astonishing. And Boberg's going to try to make this one work. Past Polliard. Oh, contact between the two of them. Boberg's not going to get it stopped. Polliard is off the circuit. And that's great news for Oliver Bunn. Are they both going to be able to continue? Boberg's back to the pits. Polliard continues on his way. What is going on here at Spa? Possibly the most action-packed evening we've had in Apex Racing Academy Formula 4. Now it's Griffin versus Wong for the lead. This doesn't count for anything, really. Oh, he's not going to make the corner. Get back onto circuit, Jackie. Otherwise, honestly, he'd be around Parmley level. And it's Griffin who leads from pole position. But that doesn't tell half the story. It's been in the wars in that first lap. The top 4, Griffin, Wong, Parmley, Tukey. But it's Walsh now ahead. He's late on the brakes. Should get a better exit from the source. And he's through into 4th position at the moment. However, it's not a done deal, because here comes the chase once again. Spence going to be close to the pair of them here. See how deep Tuki was on the brakes. He's in the top 4 at the moment, Jamie Tuki. I don't think he's made an A final so far this season. Would be absolutely mega for him if he could take it tonight. Look at Bun. Bun crashed on lap 1. And he's with these guys. In fact, we might be able to get a replay of that Bun instance on lap 1. A lot has happened. But this should demonstrate what happened. And again, we'll go to our trusty chopper cam. So was it a squeeze? Was it not a squeeze? I don't know. And it seemed for all the world like Bun had damage at this point. He has got a bit of front wing damage, definitely from that. But yeah, lost the car. Maybe an onboard apologies would have been better on that occasion. But I think that chopper cam pretty much tells you all you need to know what happened to Oliver Bun. Then, as we'll try to catch a little bit of this now, we will get that replay of the Boberg incident with Polliard in just a moment. Polliard's still going, by the way, hasn't had to take repairs. He will be picking up the pieces from what happens ahead, albeit he will need a lot to happen if he's going to get to the top 4. Lock up ahead. Tuki leading this train. Spence in 2nd place in this train. 5th place overall. And it's Walsh and Bun rounding out the quartet. Oh, look at that wall from Walsh. That's not a racing line. Outbreaking himself, having to take evasive action. Now this is too wide into a region. Frankly, after we saw 3 wide, I don't think my blood pressure increases at all. But it should do, because we got a humongous crash again at Eau Rouge. Tuki will be able to continue on his way. And honestly, the amount of miracles we're seeing in this race are incredible. Spence definitely hit the wall. I heard it. And I think you can see the damage on his car. And straight through goes Nick Polliard. Into 6th place. Would be remarkable if Polliard could get through. Let's get a replay of that one. If we possibly can. Tuki. Here we go. This should be the one. Apologies, this is just afterwards. So Spence has towed back to the pits then. And again, this is just afterwards. I apologise profusely. This might give us a bit of a better idea. A little bit of netcode. And how on earth does Tuki miss the wall there? I mean, he's basically used Spence as a cushion there to absorb his pace and go away scot-free. Lost a bit of time, but frankly, it could have been so much worse. I don't know what anyone thinks on the YouTube chat about that incident. Again, thanks to the Portuguese contingent for making their presence known on the chats. Always love having you guys around. Because anyone else supporting any drivers out there, do let us know who you are watching at the moment, or who you are looking out for. Now we've got a slightly calm period. We've just got this Polliard Tuki battle. I'm not sure if Tuki's got any damage. Maybe if we ride on board with Jamie Tuki. I'm fairly certain. Oh dear. That's not going to help the Mansk. And that pretty much is our close battles for the moment. Stalled. Albeit this one is closing in a little bit. One catching up to Griffin right now after his little bit of an off earlier on. Hang on, has Polliard now made a mistake? The race just come to a stop as Polliard. They want 6th place. You have it. No, you have it. Let's get on board of this one. Oh, and then it's the wheel spin afterwards, and I hope he had his FD screen there open, because that was risky. Show you the weather right now. It's not particularly warm. 36 degrees, sure, it's quite warm, but it's not sweltering. 22 degrees air temperature. Of course, this weather being taken from the Apex Racing Academy setups, the conditions that they use to make their setups, and of course, all the drivers who sign up to this series get a subscription, a 1-month subscription for free, just for signing up to the series. And of course, Apex Racing Academy is supplying data packs for the Formula 4 car, for the Formula 3 car, along with plenty of the other single-seaters, IndyCar as well, the IRA 18, along with, of course, Radicals cars, touring cars, GTs, prototypes, all of that stuff. Check out apexracingac.com to get yourself a subscription. Now, something that I've wanted to do all race long is get a replay of that collision we saw with Pollard. I'm really struggling to find it on our event viewer, but I think I have found it now. This is back on lap 1. Boberg on the inside. Loads of netcode. I think without that, Pollard would have probably gone wider. Pollard somehow getting away with that without too much damage. I don't know if Boberg had much damage. He towed back before he could even test it. But considering that we've only got 9 cars out there, this has been a crazy race. Oliver Bunn, I think, has had a problem. He's come to a stop. He was chasing down Dan Parmalee. He's lost only a second on this, so it's a bit of a waste of time for me to show this, but it was. And it was Bunn who picked up a slowdown, which partially ruined his race in his heat. I mean, there was other things that went wrong for him in that heat as well, so I don't think we should put all the blame down to that, but he having issues right there. Griffin leads the way, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race. He's looking strong right now in that position. And you'd be far pushed, even with the action that we've had so far in this event, to look past him for this race win. Wong in second place at the moment. Lost 0.4 of a second on that last tour of the circuit. And of course, we've still got the A final to come in just a few minutes' time. After this race is complete, we'll go to an advertisement break, and then we will have the final race of the evening, where the big points are available for the drivers. Fast lap of the race there for Oliver Bunn. To be fair, Jay Walsh was very quick behind him. 22.88 there for Jay Walsh. Excellent effort from him. And they're catching up to Dan Parmalee. This is going to be the last lap of the race, however. Now on the last lap, in fact I'll demonstrate the lap time history. Parmalee lost 1.1 seconds. It hasn't been that much though, on the most part of it. It's a small sample size because of the length of this track. I think Parmalee's going to survive here. Former Master Cup Amateur Champion, if I recall correctly, Dan Parmley. Oh no, I think has Walsh just made a mistake there. All of a sudden I don't see him in the background. Where's Jay Walsh? Might be going blind here. Let's take away the graphic. Oh dear. What has happened here? All going on board. Too much curb there. Too much curb there. And he hit the wall. And he's got no drive. Shame for Jay Walsh. I mean, the only consolation is that he probably wouldn't have made it through to the A final anyway, with a very quick Oliver Bunn sat in front of him. But could we see a last corner move? Should have a big enough gap to see Griffin cross the line, maybe? I'm not sure. I'll keep an eye on the gap. Griffin's going to take this one anyway. Brilliant effort from him. We are going to have to cut back though. We want to see battles whenever possible. Parmley going defensive. Bunn round the outside. I thought he was going to get the cutback there. Absolutely storms it round the outside. Compact attack between the two of them. Hopefully that doesn't push them over the instant limits. Bunn finishes in P3. Griffin wins out. Wong in second place. Bunn and Parmley both get through. That's the important thing. After Bunn crashed on lap 1, remember. Tukey and Polliard miss out. And the others, well, they all retired, the others. And so, well, they could have still got through, to be fair. They were in the top 4 nonetheless, but, yeah, it was not going to happen. There's Polliard, the last runner in this B final. So we're going to take a break then on Apex Racing TV. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes' time. But for now, just a couple of adverts from some of our sponsors. See you back in a minute.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Thanks to our sponsors, of course, Apex Racing Academy, who I spoke about earlier on, and Virtual Racing School for sponsoring this this series and this broadcast. Virtual Racing School, of course, offering, just as they were saying in the advert, pretty much, but so many different data packs, basically. 50 plus cars, I believe, covered by Virtual Racing School, and that covers both road and oval racing. And their data analysis software is absolutely brilliant. So good at comparing your inputs to the inputs of a pro driver. and that can really help you to pinpoint exactly where you are losing time on certain circuits. So do check out virtualracingschool.com for more information on that one. We've just got the session ticking over right now. Drivers will disappear in just a moment, and we'll head over into our A final. 18 minutes, remember, and it's always the one that we look forward to most. 18 minutes, 18 drivers, and we are about to go into it. The grid for the final race. Swimster on pole. Alcantech 1-2 once again. Molfetova up there in P3. Coenza in 4th. Redford, what can he do from 5th? He needs to get through those programs early on. Pedro Suarez lines up in 6th place. Then it's Philip Russell, Hans Morgan Nielsen. He's so quick tonight as Nielsen. Yamantis out of position now. Could he win from there? Sek, Givens, Lee. Charney, White, Griffin, Wong, Bunn, and Palmley. Drives are ready. And the lights are coming on. 18 minutes at Spa. Who's going to win round 7? Away we launch. Great start for the Alcantech guys. Not a good start for Molfetova. She's going to be in trouble straight away, but if she can just keep P3. Oh, is she going to make contact there? Super deep on the brakes, Molfetova. She's got away with that one. That could have been so much worse. She could have an excellent launch though around this next straight. Redford up into 4th position. That's exactly what he needed right there. He's up ahead of Coenza. And we know that Molfetova and Coenza will fight with anyone, regardless of what class they are. They are not going to show any respect to Will Redford. As the Alcantech boys go alongside on this opening lap. Molfetova, I don't think it's going to quite get there in time. Here comes Redford. 2 wide, 2 back, heading into Lecumbe for the first time. Redford might even get P2 here. Great launch for him. Excellent work from the Delta Sport driver. He's done more than what he was aiming for on this opening lap. He's up into P2 and right in with a chance. It's Noble leading the way. Coenza's hit Swemstra. Swemstra's in the wall. Oh, what a shame. And if he got lucky due to the batsing in his heats, he's got very unlucky there. You got to feel sorry for him because he would have fancied his chance at a race win, his best chance at a race win all season long. And it's not going to happen for him. Huge shame for him. So it's Noble leading the way. Redford going with him. Coenza up into 3rd position. Molfetova's dropped back in all of that. So Coenza, well, we wait to see if he's got any front wing damage. He was the one who made contact with Swemstra. Charney unfortunately had an issue. I think that was at La Source. We've also got a few drivers a little bit detached at the back. White and Lee. Wong is now having an issue. Oh dear, we've had an absolute mare here. We're going to get a replay of it. I know we're missing probably a couple of overtakes further up, but I'm sure there's going to be other changes later on. No, okay, so I think the chaos has already happened. Is it going to be a bad redraw? No, White's just spun in sympathy. We'll try to get a replay of that later on. Back to live pictures. Still Schnabel leading the way. But we've got Russell and Givens and Nielsen batsing it out. Nielsen down 1 place. I'm not sure what happened to Nielsen out on this first lap. Remember, Zwemstra was a free position basically given to these guys. Also poor start for Tobias Sek. We might even get a full replay of exactly what happened on that race start if it ever calms down, which I'm not sure if it will do. Everyone's still sort of in the same straight though. 3.5 seconds separates the top 8. Well, heck, top 9. They're pretty much alongside right now. Givens up ahead of Nielsen for now. It's going to get tight for the lead. Schnabel versus Redford, the only men to have won a final so far this season. This is the duo that we want to see out the front. Schnabel holding on. Givens still ahead of Nielsen. Nielsen needs to get clear here. He's got good pace, like I said earlier on. I think better pace than Joseph Givens. But Givens is not giving this one up easily. Let's try to get another replay of that opening lap. This might give us a better idea of what happened round the Lafania. Apologies to Lafanya. Just Lafanya or Lafanya, I think would be a better description. Here was Wong losing it. As he spun back onto circuits. Oh, so it's all sorts of separate from one another. I think the other drivers just spun in sympathy. So, and here was the Andy Lee crash as well at the starts. Just by himself. Four-way battle for the lead. Schnabel, Redford, Cuenza, and the YouTube chat's favourite driver, Pedro Suarez. Look at Redford, he's almost off the circuit. We've got 3 wide for P2. Absolutely epic launch there for Suarez. What's he able to do with it? Nothing really around there. We've got a long way to go. Redford's going to drop a position to Cuenza, but it's a far better exit. And look at Diamantis. Catching car lengths on them. Molfatova's going to be in play as well soon. Even Russell. George would be proud. Top 2 getting away slightly. Cuenza able to take the normal racing line, but he's 7/10 of a second off Redford now. This is when these guys have got to put pride to one side and work together. Make sure they catch back up to the top 2, because I think the top 2 will probably work together themselves here. You can't really bump draft in this car. Maybe if you're teammates you could, but it's too risky. Could get damage. What's going to happen behind? Pedro, don't go for it. No, they're going to lose time. They're going to lose time. Just, it's not worth the fight. It's really not worth it right now. Stick with the leaders, guys. But even the top 2 are still fighting. Look at this. Oh, they nearly collide. Oh, and that's going to be round. Surely they make contact. They're both off. Is he going to collect someone else, Redford? Oh, they do a brilliant job at avoiding, but I think did Russell make an unsafe rejoin? No, he got away with it. Oh, what a change for the lead. And it was unnecessary. Why were they fighting so hard early on in this race? I do not know. And so it's Schnabel leading the way. Cuenza, after making contact with Zwemstra earlier on, he's still running, by the way. Credit to Zwemstra, he's half a lap down, but took a faster pair. And they're all still fighting out on circuit right now. Buns just moved up into P6. Bunn started 17th. Oliver Bunn, who was last after half a lap in the B final, he's only 4.6 seconds off the lead, and honestly, this Spa meeting has been the craziest one we've had this season. If he could win this race, Bunn, I'm putting it out there, I would not rule it out. 3 wide for the lead casually. Schnabel very still on the inside. Well, if these guys want some fun, and if we want some fun, we're being delivered. Buns, oh, that's a curse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Bun. And similar to a loaf of bread, he was rising as the race was going on right there. But he's absolutely lost it. And he's out of the race. I haven't had too many commentators' curses recently, but that's one. It was with Philip Russell. It was. They had Nilsson just behind. I think that's Spencer as well. Ah, Russell was still there. Oh, and then Nilsson collected them on the way through. I don't think Russell has too much damage. Oh no. Oh, I mean, curse on the camera that time. And I think maybe that's another curse. If he's got damage, I'm not sure. Let's see the onboard. That's not going to tell us too much. But we've got to have a replay of this one. I meant to go to the onboard actually there, but I think that's just it by himself, but maybe it was a curse. Schnabel leads. Half a second clear of Suarez. Coenza still close. Yamantis 0.9 seconds behind. I did say how Yamantis could maybe win this race when he started in P9. Needs some more fights in front of the leads, which I think is going to happen. He's safe from behind. Molfatova... Well, actually, it's interesting. Yamantis and Molfatova lost a second on that last lap. Let's see what it's like on this lap. You'll see the times pop up on the left side of the screen. It's got Nielsen in a furious battle. Oh dear, that's Givens' round. And that's going to be the lead gone. Here comes Russell. No, so Givens stays in the AM lead, but still positions lost. Remember, you score points for your overall position, not your position in class. So for an amateur like Givens, he's trying to make up some points in the championship. He is desperate to make up some points whenever possible. He needs some big results to the end of the season. What's going to happen this time? Coenza's going to make this one 3 wide, I think. Oh, there's not the space. Okay, there's a lane on the inside. Oh, Coenza knows. I don't need to point it out. Oh, they're so close to contact. My hands are on my head. He backs out of it. And look at Yamantis right in play. Suarez leads. And if we had audio on the YouTube chat, I think I'd be deafened right now. The Portuguese man, the 145, is leading the way. There's some trees. And it's so close for the race lead right now. Heading into P1, it's 4, 2 wide, 2 back. And there really has not been a dull moment from this entire evening of racing. Suarez in the lead then. Schnabel trying to just hold on to second position now because Coenza's alongside. They're not losing too much time though with this battling. Molfatova will be catching up. She's 1.5 seconds behind. We haven't seen a Pro-Am win a race so far this season. We've only seen Redford and Schnabel win a race this season in terms of the A finals, that is. Of course, even in the heat side, I don't think we've seen a Pro-Am win a heat so far this championship. Can Yamantis do anything here? Oh my god, they're going to be close to the leaders. You gain so much on through Blanchemont. I just hope this goes down to the last lap. It's my only hope from this. Don't care who wins. Oh, contacts! And he's over! Lennart Schnabel's not going to make it back-to-back wins. He's on his roof. And good luck driving that one away. Was it Coenza understeering? I don't know. But he's made contact with both Olcantec drivers. He started off with a 1-2. And instead, I think they're pretty much both out of the race. We're going to have to both tow back to the pits. And Suarez now with a 1.6 second lead out ahead. This is on, people. The Suis are intensifying. And we could see a first-time win for Pedro Suarez. There's Redford. Remember him? Frankly, if I'm totally honest, I've forgotten what happened to Redford earlier on in the race. There's been so much that has happened since. Of course, it was on the exit of this corner, wasn't it? Collided with Schnabel. And that is why he's down. 6.5 seconds off the lead. He caught by 1.5 seconds on that last lap though, Redford. So I'm going to be too far off the top 3 by the end of the race. And so you wait to see what can Suarez do. Leader of the Pro-Ams, by the way, Molfatova. She's caught up to Yamantis. We wait to see if she can stay in the draft of Yamantis. Might get towed up to the leader potentially. Leader in the AMs, Joseph Givens. Despite that spin earlier on a bit, he's under big pressure from Tobias Sek as it stands. And in fact, seconds just got past. Givens lost 4 seconds that last lap. Was that the spin? No, it wasn't the spin. So, apologies. So, Givens has got damaged there. All his sector times are bad. Well, yeah. I think so, at least. Yeah, you can see the front wing. Front wing's gone. Front wing's crooked. And so, yeah. He's going to be struggling for the rest of this race. He might hold on against Russell. He's losing about a second a lap. No, more than that. About 3 seconds a lap, I think, is Givens. Yeah, we'll see if he can hold on. Bad news, guys. He's been caught. Suarez versus Yamantis. 1.1 seconds that last time round. Morford Taylor out of draft range at the moment, but don't rule her out. Redford catching these guys by 1.5 seconds on the last lap. He's going to be in the background soon, as we got alongside for the race lead here. Who is going to win out on this one? For now, surely it's going to be Yamantis. Lithuania move back to the lead. But Suarez, I think, has got the pace to hold on. He had the pace earlier on to hold on in the draft. I don't think he's as fast as Yamantis. But if he can stay in the draft, then he could still win this race. Choose again. This is the only battle going on circuit right now. But just to demonstrate the pace right now for Redford. Look at that. Second lap faster. Oh, he's 3.7 seconds behind. He's not going to make it, is he, Redford? But he's going to get a lot closer than I thought he would be. He's only 5.5 seconds off the lead. As we go onto the back straight. Yamantis is much faster than Suarez, but that draft will bring the Portuguese back into play. It is not over here. Let's try to get through some of this data. iRacing. There. Really, the one that we want to see is gain. Lots of changes. Yamantis started P9. Griffin started P15. Shout out to him. Because we did have fun storming up the orders. We got the white flag out. That was not close. Yeah, that was inevitable. So, this is going to be it. And honestly, I think it's looking too good right now for Team Portugal. Suarez looks to be too far behind right now. We're getting on board. He'll try everything. Up the hill he should gain a nice amount of time. But he's not going to get past into Leku. I think we can be pretty much certain of that one. Not making any shapes, Yamantis, so he's giving Suarez a chance. Down to 0.2 of a second as they head onto the brakes into Leku. Now in the last lap, Suarez was not able to stay close around this part of the circuit. He needs to be within at least half a second coming out of Stavlo on this lap. And frankly, I don't think he's going to quite have it in him. But that's a good corner. That's excellent from Suarez. Really nice line, taking a tight exit. Who's a bit through no name, but we'll get some of that back in the chart onto the run to Puon. And the gap is hovering around that 4.5 of a second. This could still be on. Final lap of the race. In what has been, honestly, one of the most action-packed evenings of racing I can recall in Apex Racing TV history. Certainly Apex Racing League history. And certainly the race of the season here. It's not a good couple of corners there for Suarez. Stavlo didn't work out for him. He's 0.7 of a second behind. And Arias Yamantis, who started this race in P9. maybe he had a 5% chance of winning this race, honestly, but with the Alcantech guys near the front, with Redford a few places up the road, it looks unlikely. But he has driven a stormer. And the Lithuanian, who's been in great form recently, rounds the final chicane. Arius Yamantis wins round 7 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship. He beat Suarez. Molfatova finishes top of the Pro-Ams, good for her championship. Givens, with an ailing car, will finish in a fairly comfortable 8th place, because I think Russell may have had damage as well towards the end of that race. He is a while back, but Givens finishes in P8 in the end. Gets some points back on Russell, but considering that he finished behind Russell in the heats, I think he doesn't gain too much in the championship overall. There is Russell and a few other drivers as well, crossing the line. Schnabel trying to catch up to Charney at the moment. Wong's going to be under pressure from Charney as well, actually. Has he got damage, Wong? There's been so many incidents in this race that I forget who's been in each crash. But yeah, absolutely craziness. Let's see who wins out of this one. Looking pretty good right now with Jackie Wong. Gap is 1.1 seconds. It would take a mistake, frankly, from this point in order for him to lose this. Chani making up some time on the brakes. But Wong will take that P13. Schnabel, after being on his roof, will finish in P15. And man, there were so many moments from that race. So many moments. But that is, that's it. That is it from this meeting, and we'll get the results nice and quick, and then we can get through into the interviews, and maybe if we've got some time, I don't think we are going to have time, but we might go through some of the replays as well from the race if I can find them, which is unlikely. Yamantis wins. 6 tenths to a second clear of Pedro Suarez, who, yeah, had the lead, just didn't have the pace in the end, Suarez, but good effort from the Racing Forces driver. Then it was Sarah Molfatova in P3, her first... No, she got P2 actually back at Watkins Glen, didn't she, in the A final, but still a very good result there from Molfatova, her second podium for the season. Redford, after spinning, finishes in P4. Then it was Hans Morgan Nielsen in P5, good for his championship, albeit he lost points to Molfatova. Griffin was in 6th place, then it was Sek. Top of the rounds was Givens ahead of Russell and Lee. White was in 11th place, then it was Zwemstra. Great effort from Zwemstra to get back out on track. You know, that's what it's about. You know, I think he had to take back to the pits to Zwemstra. And he will be so annoyed because he could have so won that race. I think he had as much pace as Yamantis. Had a great chance to Zwemstra. He'll be absolutely furious that he got hit on that first lap. Jackie Wong was in 13th place. Then it was Charney, Schnabel, Coenza, Bunn and Parmalee. So, do we have any interviews? Yes, we do. Who are we going to have a chat with first? Let's have a chat with Lennart Schnabel, because he had a fairly crazy race this evening. Welcome, Lennart, to the commentary box. I mean, where do I start with that one? Honestly, it's been a very busy day. I've been by myself up here, and so I struggle to remember everything that's happened. But I think for you yourself, it was pretty much anarchy out there. I mean, take us through your heats first of all. I think that one was probably the easier one, I think, if I recall correctly.
Well, the heats were, yeah, it wasn't a gift win. Those guys behind battled for second place, and I just drove away at the front, so it wasn't that eventful. But the final was probably the worst race I've ever had. I couldn't get up to pace, that's for sure. I struggled quite a lot. I have absolutely no idea why. I had a loose rear end, and yeah, the crash, that was a bit unfortunate, and yeah, it wasn't the best day I've ever had. But yeah, we keep on going.
It was absolutely frantic out there for you guys. You also had an incident with Will Redford. I was a little bit surprised that you guys were fighting so much in the early stages. I mean, do you think... I think it may have been Will going for the move on yourself, but I was surprised that you two seemed to pull away and then you seemed to fight, which brought the others back into play. I mean, were you surprised that Will was going for that move, or were you well up for having a fight in those early stages?
I thought about having a fight, just because, yeah, it's not the nicest move of all the moves I got, but I tried to push him in the other guys. Didn't work out. Then I got the bad karma from it. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a little bit out there. But credit for yourself, and actually credit to Kevin as well for getting back out on circuit though, fixing that damage, and yeah, re-entering the circuit. Yeah, we have 2 more rounds to go of the championship. They are, as I frantically look at the calendar, they are Nürburgring, the Sprintstreck, and Alton Park. Which one of them are you looking forward to most?
Probably Nürburgring, just because it's German track. A bit obvious, but I like that track, especially the short course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Try to get another win after the disappointing race today. Yeah, we'll see.
Yes, we will see on that one. Well, best of luck, Lennart. I'm sure you've got a good chance of getting second A final race win of the season. Next time out, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
A shout out to my team, to my parents, and especially to you. I mean, handling a stream all alone is quite an achievement, I would say. Yeah, props for that, and see you next time.
Well, thank you very much, Nat. Hopefully my lack of assistance doesn't come across on the script on the stream, but we will see on that one. Yeah, thanks for having a chat with us, and yeah, best of luck next time.
Thank you.
Lennart Schnabel there, your P15 finisher in the A final. Oh, there's so many interviews. Oh, Arius Yamantas, here we go. Our overall race winner tonight, Arius Yamantas, joins us in the country box. Arius, absolutely epic stuff. Yeah, what's a drive out there in that A final? Starting from P9, did you think you had a chance at winning the race?
No, I honestly thought I'm just gonna get into top 5 and that's gonna be it. I did not expect to get into first at all, maybe even top 3, but it surprised me a lot. There's a lot of stress in that race for me because of the times when they spun in front of me and everything. I thought I was gonna crash into the wall, but saved it, and I didn't even know what happened too much in the race. I was just focusing on driving, and that's it.
Yeah, it just seemed to be absolutely craziness. I mean, I struggle to remember everything that happened. It seemed like your pace, though, I mean, obviously your racecraft was very good, but your pace in those closing stages was super strong because Pedro broke the draft, and yet you were able to kind of get back within his draft and then overtake him. I mean, and then, of course, hold him off at the end. I mean, did you feel particularly confident around this circuit tonight?
I'd say, yeah, I did put in quite a bit of practice compared to some of the other tracks, so I thought that I'm used to the setup. I should probably do quite well, but I didn't expect myself to do this well, I'd say. Setup did feel grippy and good, so catching up with it was the main thing that was on my mind, and I managed to do it.
Yeah, and out of all the drives that you battled with out there, I mean, there were 5 or 6 drives, I think, that you battled with. I mean, was there anyone who you think you had a particularly good fight with during the race? I
can't even remember. I was just trying to just stay alive, and that's it. I was trying to not spin, not crash, and just try to stay in a good, tidy position.
Yeah, well, that was you managed to do that in the end and took the race win, your first of the season. Is that your first ARL win, in fact, Arius?
Don't think so. I think in the Mazda Cup I may have gotten one, or maybe not. I don't even remember too much.
Oh yeah, I think you won at like Summit Points in Season 1.
Probably, yeah.
If I'm recalling correctly. Maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, certainly you're first in the single seaters. Congratulations
Definitely.
on that. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Not too much. Probably just my dad for always being behind me and looking at how I'm racing and calculating the fuel if needed and some of the basic stuff and just talking some tactics with him. Very much.
Great. Well, thanks for coming and joining us, Arias, and yeah, we'll see you back next week.
Yep. Thank you very much. Bye.
Arias Mantis there, your race winner tonight. Who else have we got time for? I really want to have a chat with Philip Russell, but we should have a chat with Joseph Gibbons because he was our driver winner tonight. Joseph, craziness out there, as I've said to pretty much everyone else. 6th place in race in your heat. Honestly, I've forgotten about your heat, but take us through what happened in that one because so much was happening tonight.
Difficult thing was I didn't have time to race this track the entire week, so I logged on this morning and I was running like laps in the F4 car on Spa for the first time. So yeah, I was just catching up and like kind of getting up to speed. And I guess I battled. I forget exactly. Honestly, I kind of forget too. I was battling, I think, and it slowed me back from the front of the pack. I was just struggling with consistency, and then towards the end of the race, 2 people overtook me on the last lap, which sucked. But yeah.
Yeah, that was disappointing on that one. But then yeah, you got through into the A final nonetheless, and then you had an incident, if I recall correctly, and I think you had damage towards the end of the race. It seemed like your front wing was barely hanging on.
Yeah, I just spun. I think kind of similar to Will Redford's moment in the chicane. I just spun after kind of trying to hold the inside line on the second part of the chicane. Yeah, I guess I didn't get out of the way fast enough, and then whoever was behind me, kind of forget their name. I guess their like rear tire just hit my wing a little bit. So that was bad. But then Phil Russell, who was the car behind me, also had damage. So it was just trying to drive as smooth as I could and bring it to the end. So it worked out though.
Couple of rounds to go. Do you think you got a chance at the Amateur Championship? I think you're P2 in the championship. I might be getting that one wrong, but you've had a very strong sort of second half of the season.
I hope so. I think I can do it. It's definitely just a matter of putting the consistency in, like putting the time in. I feel that I have the pace. I think I can go pretty quick, at least within the amateurs. So yeah, put some more time into this game. I think get a little bit more consistent and maybe start actually messing with my setup instead of using the base setup, and we'll see.
Awesome. Well, yeah, best of luck for the final couple of rounds. Joseph, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out my parents, my mom, my dad, and my grandma, who is going through some treatment right now. But yeah, shout out to all of them. And you guys too. Thank you for putting this on. It's super fun.
No problem, Joseph. We'll see you back next week.
Yeah, next week for sure.
Awesome. Joseph Gibbons there, your amateur race winner tonight. Up next, I gotta have a chat with him. Philip Russell. Philip, honestly, George, do you think he's going to be able to sleep tonight after what happened this afternoon? Oh, not this again. Oh, come on, Philip. Get your mic sorted. Every time. And I wanted to chat about the commentator's curse as well. Maybe we'll have a chat with him in a bit. Deary me. Okay. Who else are we going to have a chat with? We've got to have a chat with Will Redford. Will, not the race that you wanted tonight. Remarkably, I think you still extend your championship lead, which seems crazy considering that you had 2 spins this evening.
Yeah, I'm just that good, mate. Clearly. Yeah. Obviously, the first race, I spun myself. I just went in too quick and looped it on the colder tyres. But you know, it's quite tricky around there when you go over the crest and you're on 0 wing. But that was my own fault. And then the second race, I was having a good battle with Lennart. It's always nice when people decide to race you instead of just slipstreaming. And I thought it was going to be a good race to the end. And then we made slight contact and I got spun around. But you know, it happens. You can't be perfect every round. And like you say, I think I still extended my championship lead. So, you know, it's all right.
I got to about 3 laps from the end and thought, hang on. is Will going to win this after all of that? Because you're catching up, and with the craziness up ahead, it seemed honestly like you had a chance in that A final. I mean, was there ever a slither that you thought, come on guys, crash a bit ahead and then I could take this?
I was trying, but there wasn't enough laps. You know, it's such a long lap that we don't really do much. So even though I was like what 1 second, 1.5 seconds a lap quicker. I knew I wasn't going to catch up, but I was just pushing as hard as I could. You know, because you never know if someone's going to spin or the two leaders will come together. But I think it was like that in the end of both races. So I was just pushing. You know, you never know what's going to happen. But I wasn't expecting to win. I was just seeing what would happen.
Yeah, and in the end, yeah, you got that 4th position, and yeah, we'll be a long way clear in the championship. You've pretty much won the championship already. I don't think you even need to turn up for the last 2 rounds, but I'm sure you will do. Are you looking forward to Alton Park and Nürburgring?
Alton Park, yes. Nürburgring, no, but not because I don't like the track. It's because I won't be doing the race because I'm racing in real life. So, Alton Park, I do like that track. I like it in real life. It's my home track, so I do think I go well around there, and it'll be a good race. But Nürburgring, I'll have to give it a miss.
Okie doke. Well, hopefully the real world racing goes to plan well, and yeah, we'll chat to you hopefully in a couple of weeks' time.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Will Redford there, 4th place in the A final. We'll try to get through everyone. Okay, let's try again. Philip, can you hear me? Philip, you're killing me. Absolutely horrendous. As we get a replay actually of what happens earlier on to Redford and Schnabel. Dear me, Philip, why do I even try? Why do I try? Cambrali Charlie joins us in the commentary box now. Cambrali, P14 out here tonight, but yeah, congratulations on that one. Get straight through to the A final, I think, for the first time this season.
Thank you very much. It was bittersweet, I suppose. In the practice, as per usual, as per tradition, I looked quick. I think I was 4th fastest overall, but I just have no idea. It doesn't represent my race pace, and unfortunately, we're just not getting the results that we would like. But it was fun out racing in Spa, so that's a positive to take forward.
Absolutely. There was some collisions, I think, at the start of the A final. I'm not sure if we saw exactly what went on, but yeah, what happened there? Was it just a solo spin, I think, for yourself?
As we were going into, I think the corner is called No Name. I can't remember what the name of the corner is, but as we were going into the right-hander and then the left-hander, I was already struggling for grip into those corners. So as we went into the left-hander, where Ricardo did his famous overtake, I just was struggling for grip, and as we were exiting the corner, someone hit me from behind, and there's nothing that I could do. I was straight into the wall, and just terminal damage, unfortunately.
That's a huge shame. But we head now to a couple of quite tight, twisty circuits, Nürburgring and Alton Park. Do you prefer like these big slipstreaming tracks, these Grand Prix circuits, or do you like those more kind of club, tight, twisty layouts?
I always enjoy the opportunity to go racing, and at a track like we had this weekend, we could go racing. So it's definitely something that I enjoy a lot more. The next couple of weeks, you just kind of show up, shrugging your shoulders, dreading what could possibly go wrong. But that's part of the job. We still have 2 more races to go until the end of the championship, and I'm hoping for the best. I still have my sights in the top 3, and hopefully I'm able to pull the job off in the next 2 weeks.
Well, certainly wishing the best of luck for that one, Cambrali. Is there anyone you'd like to give any thanks to?
Yes, a huge thank you to my team, my sponsors, Spen, Fine Zambia, Sasha Maglov, everyone that comes into the streams to support me, everyone at Apex Racing Leagues for arranging these amazing championship races. Philip Russell for helping me out with the setups, and yeah, just everyone that's been racing in these championships. It's pretty cool to meet all these people and to get to race against them.
Awesome. Well, very good to hear those good words about the league, Cambrali. Thanks for having a chat with us, and yeah, see you back in 7 days.
Thank you very much.
Cambrali, Charney, there. Okay, we're gonna try it, guys, and I'm sure you all want to hear from him. Are we going to hear the words from Philip Russell? Philip, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I don't know what's going on. This is the story of my life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he can. if it happened once, Philip, I'd be like, okay, yeah, fair enough. But this isn't the first time this has happened. But I've given you 4 chances tonight, and we've got it on the last one. My first question earlier on, you may have heard me earlier on. How is George? I mean, is he going to sleep tonight?
He is well chuffed. I mean, I don't think he expected it. He's the kind of guy to, stick it on pole from nowhere. So yeah, he's doing all right.
That's great to hear. Yeah, hopefully he can share some of the champagne he gets on the podium tomorrow. To your race this evening, fairly good evening in the end. I mean, so much happened in that A farm that despite your damage, you kind of got away without too much. Yeah, your heat seemed good, very competitive racing, and the A final as well seemed very competitive.
Yeah, the heat was, good, clean battle. I had a good race with Joseph Gibbons, obviously for the championship. I mean, very nice, clean racing. Finished P4 in the end, I believe, which obviously was top in the class. The aim is to keep my nose clean in these races, and that's exactly what I did there. Yeah, the final didn't go to plan. Unfortunately, it all kind of started from, I was kind of running around 7th place behind Sarah. Doing it right, keeping my nose clean. I think Will span just coming up the corner with no name, I believe. He span there, and I had to take a void of action, and the other cars caught up with me quite quickly. And I think it was Oliver Bunn and I think it's Hans. I can't remember his surname, but yeah, they caught up and we had a little bit of a battle. And I thought I gave him enough room at the bus stop, but it looked like we clipped wheels and it span him round, and then Hans clipped my front left. So yeah, the final. What was it, 8 laps or so, 7 or 8 laps. It was running about 5 seconds a lap slower, very twitchy at Puon. I think you probably caught me spinning at one point. But yeah, it was just good to get back in and finish 9th and 2nd in class, because I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, we caught you spin live, then I think we showed a replay of it, and then just as you were talking there, we saw it on the stream again. So I think that's got like brilliant coverage right there of that spin. I think everyone in the world has seen that now at this point. Philip, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yes, thanks to you guys again. Thank you, Sam, for your great commentary. I think you're by yourself today. And obviously the organisers for this championship is always great as ever. And thanks to my team, Go for the Gap Racing, and the sponsors that come along with that. So yeah, everyone, thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Philip, and yeah, send some good luck to George tomorrow. I think he's going to need it.
Definitely will. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Cheers.
Philip Russell there in P9 in the A final, but also had a very good heat. And so more points for him, extends his championship lead in the amateur standings. And of course also brother of George Russell, if anyone didn't know. That's what I was referring to earlier on. So we that concludes. We've already gone way over time, but there you are on Apex Racing TV. And well, I never actually over the whole book I think it was shout out to SDK Gaming, but thanks to SDK Gaming, they provide our brilliant overlay that you can see up on screen. Of course, the timing towers, all the information that you see up on screen provided by SDK Gaming. So do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk so you can get the overlay, the live timing, the fuel calculator. They have a driver information app which supplies the commentators with information about you, really good for the official stays in particular. That so much stuff. Check out sdk-gaming.co.uk for more details. And yeah, of course, also big thanks to Virtual Racing School and SDK Gaming for sponsoring this broadcast. Subscribe to the channel, like this video. Yeah, subscribe. You'll see more races over the next few days. We've got the 3.5s later on. We have got the Spec Racer for tomorrow. We've got IGP Fun tomorrow. We've got GT3 Trophy on Tuesday. I think we've got Vic May Tech on Monday. Loads of stuff. subscribe to the channel, check out our social media as well. Going to be lots of new content coming up on the Apex Racing TV social media over the next few weeks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So check out all of that, and it should be yeah, really good to check out. Yeah, that pretty much concludes us then for this evening. So I have been Sam Fitzpatrick. The commentary tonight was provided by Sam Fitzpatrick. The production was provided by Sam Fitzpatrick as well. However, I have thoroughly enjoyed it in this very entertaining round 7 of the championship. We will be back in 1 week's time at Nürburgring. The sprint track, that's the short layout for the penultimate round of the championship. And then, of course, there will be only one more round to go after that one. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, I am going to say goodbye. And I will see you back next week at the Nürburgring. See you then.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.